Hello and good afternoon from your Co-op Community Stadium. I'm Shaun Cashmore. The duo is once again reunited and I'm alongside Craig Barnes, and you join us for today's FA Trophy encounter between Leamington and Bishop's Stortford. This is in fact the first encounter between these two teams that are separated by near on 100 miles. Bishop Stortford going well this season in the Isthmian League, third as it stands, and off the back of a win last Saturday at home to Kingstonian, travel up from their Hertfordshire base to take on Paul Holloran's Leamington, that have become somewhat of draw specialists in recent weeks. 5 on the bounce in fact, including last week's 90-plus equaliser away to Chester, that Louis Hall finish, sending the away fans into raptures. But a lot of those draws have been picked up away from home in hard-fought encounters in the National League North, and with the Breaks sitting 13th in an incredibly congested league table points-wise, those points picked up will recently undoubtedly be crucial come the end of the season. Craig, good afternoon.
Hiya Shaun, hello everybody. Yes, well I think Bishop Stortford very much in form. They've lost only one of the last 12, and yeah, there'll be a stiff test even though they're a division lower. They will be a bit of a tough nut to crack, I think, because they've got the best defence in the Isthmian Premier League, so it shapes up to be a good game.
As we saw against AFC Far, the Breaks often work on their set pieces that Devon Kelly-Evans will take, and he's got a delicious delivery when he gets one right, so it'll be Devon Kelly-Evans, right-footed, in towards the near post. Jack Edwards on the edge, cleared almost off the line by Porter. Out of the penalty area it goes, all the way up to halfway, where Adams now, one-on-one, will try and help it himself, but Adam Walker has ran all the way back, got blindside of him, completely robbed him of possession. Breaks chip it back out to Kelly-Evans on this right-hand side. He chips one through towards Raki Reid, who will have his work cut out to keep that one in, and he can't. Good corner routine from the Breaks, though. Everyone went near post. Kelly-Evans drilled it back towards the penalty spot, where Jack Edwards has sort of been eluded of any marking, which is a dangerous thing to do in any set piece. Jack Edwards, low hard drive, but it was just cleared away, I think, by Jay Porter, and they managed to clear their lines. But good attacking intent and a good set piece. Walker heads one into the penalty area. Jack Lane will try and collect it. Raheem Reid, left-footed, left-hand side of the box, brought down. Referee waves it away. Looked like a risky challenge at best. Not too many appeals. Raheem Reid stays down, but Bishop Stortford try and break away. But Simeon May robs again of possession.
No, I think those incidents happen many times during the game, don't they? But I think 9 minutes into the game that Paul Holloran will be far more happy with the two managers, watching what he's seeing so far. Leamington obviously a step up than Bishop Stortford, and so far I'd say that is evident.
So goal kick is flicked on by Jack Edwards. Devon Kelly-Evans, what a spring that is to get up above his marker and feed it through to Raheem Reid, but it's cleared away by Stortford again. Kelly-Evans again with a lovely bit of control. Left-footed ball in towards the area, towards Dan Turner. Great saving challenge by a Bishop Stortford defender, but Adam Walker will pick it up on the left-hand side. Left-footed cut in towards Raheem Reid at the far post. Reid half wins the header, left-footed drive, saved by the keeper, and Stortford clear it away. Great bit of play by the Breaks on the left-hand side, all started by Devon Kelly-Evans. Left-footed floated cross towards Raheem Reid at the far post. Raheem Reid couldn't win the header cleanly, but he brought the ball down on his left foot, and then as he tried to drive it goalwards, it was smothered by Giddins. Flicked on by the Breaks, then in towards Raheem Reid. Raheem Reid in towards Turner. Turner feeds Kelly-Evans on the edge of the penalty area on the left-hand side. Kelly-Evans right-footed chip ball in towards Edwards. Edwards can't win it. Comes out to the edge of the box as far as Simeon May. Offloads to Meredith. Meredith back to Lane. Kelly-Evans now just inside the centre circle. Uses Simeon May. Breaks just stringing a few passes together. Good interchange between May and Kelly-Evans, and the Breaks just go back towards Theo Street so that they can maintain possession. Theo Street asking for people to come a bit deeper. He tries to chip one in towards Edwards on the edge of the drive and drives one a good 10 yards wide.
Yeah, so I'm sure Jack Edwards will think he should have done better with that, but it was instinctive, wasn't it? The ball was, as you were saying, was set up so sweetly for him that he made up his mind, you know, good second before he actually made contact with it. That's what he was going to do, but just got his technique a little bit wrong that time and wide of the post.
Matt Johnson in midfield, and he collects it and sends it out towards Charles on this left-hand side. Charles uses Adams, who's come really deep again, just offloads in towards Peters. Peters in towards Raheem Reid. Raheem Reid is clattered by Charles, but I'll be brutally honest, I think it's a really, really clean challenge. Charles, for me, seems to get all of the ball, and he's telling Raheem Reid to get to his feet. Raheem Reid has stayed down. For me, it's one of those challenges where players can fly in and be unhappy, but it's one of the challenges sometimes. I think in the modern game, everyone piles in and says that's a foul, but for me, if that's a breaks player putting in that challenge, I'm over the moon with it, because he got all of the ball. He did go through Raheem Reid, but it was from the side, it wasn't from behind, and he seemed to take all ball and sort of take Raheem Reid with him, if you like.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that, Shaun, and you're exactly right to say that. You know, trying to look at things from a balanced point of view, you would absolutely want your Leamington players doing that, and if the foul had gone against you, you'd feel aggrieved for it.
Kelly Evans dribbles in towards the penalty area, beats 2, beats 3. Can he get the ball in towards the far post? He can, there's too much on it. It'll come all the way through to Dan Meredith. Meredith, right-footed, looks for support, tries to trot back towards the byline and get his cross in. Does get his cross in, but it cannons back off him, and it'll be a goal kick. Great bit of play by Devon Kelly Evans on the left-hand side, through a couple of dummies, beat 1, beat 2, came in towards the penalty area, beat a third man, and then just stood his cross up to the far post and got a little bit too much on it. So it looks like it'll be a long throw, level with the 6-yard box, that'll be taken by Matthew Johnson. Plenty of bodies inside the Leamington penalty area. It is a long throw. It's headed away, only half away, and then hooked away at the second attempt by Simeon May. Raheem Reid tries to bring it down, misses his control, and then it's headed forward again by Stortford. Hooked clear by Theo Street and in towards Raheem Reid, who tries to put the pressure on, and then he's really well marshalled by Oliver Peters, who picks up possession again and then drives forward on this left-hand side with Jay Porter. Porter, left-footed. Can he get the ball in? He can, towards the far stick. Hooks back goalwards, bounces off his own hand, and we play on. Brandon Adams just got his strike on goal all wrong, didn't make a connection at all. It bounced up off his own wrist and then into the arms of Callum Hawkins. Bishop Stortford backline just panicked a little bit there. They had a bit more time than they thought they afforded, and it'll be a corner to Leamington to be taken by Kelly Evans over on that right-hand side. Kelly Evans in towards the 6-yard box, punched away at the near post, falls towards Reid. Reid drills it goalwards and drills it home. Raheem Reid, left-footed. It was punched away at the near post by Giddins, the Bishop Stortford goalkeeper, but it fell to a combination of Theo Street and Raheem Reid. Raheem Reid decided it was his, spun on a sixpence, left-footed drive, low and hard, past the goalkeeper Giddins, who couldn't keep it out, and Leamington, 5 minutes into this second half, take an early lead.
Well, the second half started much the same as the first half started, with Leamington having a few set pieces and causing a few issues, and Raheem Reid that time the point I was trying to make was first time around I wondered if he'd just not been able to connect to it. That time he certainly did. Dispatched it low beyond Gittings to give the Breaks an early advantage in this second half.
Raheem Reid, as he walks back towards halfway, just gives a little fist bump, a little punch of the air. He's happy with that. And then the FA Trophy, as we start the second half, it's Leamington 1, Bishops Stortford 0. Well flicked on by Jack Edwards, who seems to take a late challenge right in the back of the head, but we play on with Raheem Reid on the left-hand side. Reid now loses it out and it's chipped out of play. Louis Hall is absolutely furious, and so is Adam Walker, because they're claiming that Jack Edwards has received a bit of an elbow there. Edwards has stayed down, which is unfamiliar. Jack Lane's having a chat with the official in front of us as well, and everyone is extremely unhappy about it. But Jack Edwards has stayed down. The referee's making sure he's okay. I think what is unusual is so many Leamington players are adamant that there was an elbow in there. But either way, the referee's made his decision and we'll play on. Up towards the number 10 of Merrifield. Merrifield does well in the air and then tries to feed it through to the recently introduced Foxley. A few feisty challenges go in, but now they get possession on that left-hand side with the number 14. He drills it goalwards, fielded by Callum Hawkins. Half dropped it, but fielded well at the second attempt. Jack Lane was there to protect the ball as well. There's a good bit of play by Foxley on that left-hand side, the recently introduced substitute.
Yeah, got his shot in nice and early. Now a few, two Bishop Stortford players advancing on the on this near side for them. So it's important that Callum Hawkins claimed the ball like he did. But as you say, Jack Lane was on top of him as well, which would have helped. But if it had spilt it out this way, then could have been more danger from a Breaks point of view.
Matthew Johnson, he sends one over the top. Stortford try and send one in towards the far post where Giles collects inside the penalty area. Giles, great control onto his left foot. Can he get the shot off? Tries to shape towards the edge of the box. It's blocked really well by Adam Walker. Giles again will pick it up. Giles has been impressive since coming on as a substitute. Left-footed, sends one into the far post. Headed away by Theo Street. The offside flag is raised. We still play on, and it's good referee, and he's going to see if there's an advantage. There's not an advantage, so well, surely you come back from the offside, but we don't. Left-footed drive, straight into the gloves of Callum Hawkins. Well, that's a strange one for me, to be honest, because the offside flag was clearly raised. Either way, nothing came from it. Good shot from Giles, but straight down the throat of Callum Hawkins. So it'll be Giles, left-footed, takes the free kick, in swinging towards the penalty area. It's headed on towards Johnson at the far post, and then it's headed down and wide. There's a lot of appeals for a handball. There's 4-5 players around the referee for Bishop Stortford, claiming that the header that was headed down by Matthew Johnson came off an arm. Bishop Stortford believed that it clearly came off an arm. The referee, to be fair to him, was ideally placed, and he gave a corner straight away. So
yeah, it's a time for calm heads, isn't it, when you're going through a little spell like this? No rash challenges, just try and carry the ball away, get a bit of composure on the ball. But yeah, so far, last few minutes, Bishop Stortford very much on top.
So long throw to come in towards the penalty area. All the backs are there. Near post header, just wide. Dangerous header, almost a free header. I think it was the number 6, I think it was the captain Henshaw that got his head on it. Henshaw had made a bit of space for himself inside the 6-yard box. Got half a free header, just headed it just a few inches wide of Callum Hawkins' left hand upright.
Yeah, I think he headed it more or less square to where he was. He got a real good connection on it, so just whistled wide of the post.
Forward it comes from Joe Clark, over the top. Raheem Reid gives chase. He's going to put him under all sorts of pressure. He does really well because it will come towards Edwards on the edge. Edwards puts his man under pressure again. Edwards has to go for more than 25 yards. And what a mess from Bishop Stortford, but they get away with it because the ball is out of play. Wow. A chance, well, a half chance at best presented itself to Jack Edwards, who had a first-time go from all of 25 yards as the goal was slightly vacated, but he put it over the top and into the north bank.
Bishop Stortford were a little bit frustrated because the ball was out of play, and a Stortford player had to jump over the hoarding to go and collect it, and then they were all at sea after that, as I think they were a bit frustrated they didn't get the ball back quicker.
Joe Clark helps one forward towards Edwards. Edwards in towards Raheem Reid. Raheem Reid shapes inside the penalty area. Lovely bit of control. He controlled it on his chest, brought it down on his right thigh, swiveled on a sixpence, and then drove a left-footed volley, all of his own making, high over the bar. But it was a lovely bit of control, and a lovely effort all the same. This is surely the Alamo now for Bishop Stortford here in the FA Trophy at your Co-op Community Stadium. It is Leamington 1, Bishop Stortford 0. Here comes the long throw in towards the 6-yard box. It's flicked on towards the far post and it's just wide. Claims for a corner, but the corner's not going to come because it's been beaten by the full-time whistle. Well, it was a dramatic finish here, but either way, Leamington have escaped just the victors. The goal coming in the second half from Raheem Reid, his first goal in the gold and black, his first goal for the Breaks, and Leamington will advance into the next round of the FA Trophy.
Well, I think Paul Holloman will be delighted, to tell the truth, in as much as that Bishop Stortford gave us a stiff test today. We've had to work hard for it against an organised athletic side, and it gives us something to build on for the upcoming league matches coming forward, but it also gives us a little bit of a competition to look forward to as well in future weeks. It gives the club best part of £4,000 as well in prize money. All round good afternoon, I think.
It's finished here at your Co-op Community Stadium. Leamington 1, Bishop Stortford 0.
Chris, a very tight game out there. Leamington coming away with the 1-0 victory. Your thoughts on the match?
It was a tight game, wasn't it? Clearly two teams with very good defensive records. Fair play to them, they came and they managed the ball at times with spells, but I don't think they really opened us up. And then we grew into the game, had some good spells, probably limited chances, but overall we took the chance, we're in the hat for the next round, so it's job done.
We go again on Tuesday, this time in a different competition. What's your thoughts going into the Tuesday match, and how is the victory today going to build that momentum?
I think it was shape. We said to the lads before about shaping a 7-day period, 3 home games, 2 in the cup and 1 in the league next week, that can really sort of shape the remainder of the season. So it's a good start. So FA Trophy today, Senior Cup on Tuesday. Hopefully we can retain it again, but we'll see. And hopefully it'll be good to get a few lads some minutes as well, maybe that haven't had as many. We've got to come through as 1 or 2 injuries, maybe a couple of knocks in there, so we'll have to see how they all come through tomorrow. But yeah, it's a positive week, good start to it, so we'll see where we go.
We saw Dan Turner make his return after injury today. What was the thought on his performance today?
Yeah, ran his socks off and probably got a few more minutes out of him than we thought we would. Touch and go whether we threw him back in, but obviously Dan's got a lot to offer the team, so to get him back in, get him some good minutes, he ran his socks off and minutes in the tank. So again, hopefully whether it's Tuesday or next Saturday, it's good to have him back around the squad.